Hey, let's make some kombucha. My name is Lesha and today we're making homemade kombucha. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been really into fermented foods lately and just gut health. Overall, really trying to get my gut health in check. And kombucha is one of those things that is known for optimal gut health. Don't know how much data there is to really prove it, but it is known to be a great probiotic drink that's been around for a very long time. So what is kombucha? If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what kombucha is, God bless you. Kombucha is a fermented black tea and it's sweetened, and then you use this thing called a SCOBY, which essentially looks like an 80-year-old implant of a breast, which I'll show you in a bit. And you leave it in there with the tea and the sugar, and then the SCOBY eats the sugar. This is like my second grade version of explaining what kombucha is. And it turns into a probiotic-rich tea. It's fizzy, carbonated, it's delicious. Anyway, I realized I've spent too much money on store-bought kombucha. Those things are like $5, and I love them. So I thought, why not make my own? Now, so I went on the hunt as normal people would, watching all the YouTube channels, reading all the Google's articles, on the hunt to make my own SCOBY, on the hunt to make my own kombucha, not knowing that my aunt, shout out to my Aunt Vera, has been doing this for a little while. So she so graciously gave me a SCOBY. So I decided to start making my own kombucha, and I am obsessed. It is so much fun. Can't wait to explore all the flavors with you and share what I'm doing. But I'm gonna just give you a simple guide, not any of the crazy, you can find the scientific and all the because of this, that, and the other videos out there. I want this just to be, how do I do it? What's it for? It's great for your gut health. It's a great drink, tastes amazing. So that's what it's for. Now, how do we make it? So it's super easy. You just need a few things, okay? So first what you'll need, I have to go find it. You'll need a very large glass container, gallon container. You want glass, you don't want to use metal or plastic because it will disrupt the bacteria. All right, then you'll need some kind of tea. Now, traditional kombucha uses black tea, okay? So I recommend that you start with that just so you know how it's supposed to be traditionally. I guess you can use whatever tea you want. I haven't experimented yet with other teas. I plan to because I have my favorite teas that I want to try making kombucha. But for now, as a starter, I recommend that you do just black tea. Apparently, the yeast and the SCOBY loves the caffeine because it eats it as well, and this has caffeine. So you'll need the tea. Then you'll need filtered water. For my recipe, we're gonna use 3 quarts of filtered water and 8 tea bags, all right? Then you'll need sugar. Yes, I said sugar, I know. What? Wait, Lesha, I thought you weren't doing any sugar in 2020. I'm not, but without the sugar, there's no kombucha, baby, all right? By the end of the fermentation, this sugar will all be eaten up. That is why when you look at the back of a kombucha label from the store, you'll see total sugars. That's how much was added to make the drink, but there is no added sugar. Some of them have added sugars. You want to avoid those. The point is they're telling you how much sugar they use because the fermentation process ate all of the sugar, okay? So we need sugar. Long story short, we need sugar, okay? So we got the metal container, we got the tea, we got the sugar. We'll need something to make the tea in, so any type of stock pot, whatever. And the most important thing that you'll need for the kombucha is the SCOBY. Okay, are you ready to see this thing? And I have a cut on my finger, so when I pick it up, it's gonna burn like a mother, because this is like bacteria overload. All right, tell me if this doesn't look like what you would imagine an 80-year-old breast implant to look like, right? Anyway, there's two of these because every time you make kombucha, you get a new SCOBY. You have the mother and you have the baby, all right? Some people call it mushroom, whatever. SCOBY stands for symbiotic colony of bacteria, something, and yeast, blah, blah, blah. You could Google that. Anyway, you'll need a SCOBY. That's gonna be your queen of everything. And you'll need to keep at least 2 cups of the original kombucha. If you don't have it and you're starting from scratch, then you can go and buy store-bought original unflavored kombucha. If you don't have a SCOBY, there's a couple options to get one. If you live near Columbus or in Ohio, hit me up. I will hook you up with a SCOBY. If you don't, you can ask around, go in the Facebook group, say, anybody have a SCOBY? I want to make kombucha, or you can buy one online, or you can grow your own. There's a video of how to do that. I'm not going to be showing you how to do that, but you can do that with a bottle of kombucha. So you'll need the SCOBY, and you'll need 2 cups of the kombucha liquid, okay? So what we do first is we make the tea. Let's go. I'm sure there's an easier and faster way to do this, but whatever, guys, whatever. I'll figure it out. Make sure the water's filtered. My fridge has a filtration system, so we're good. We're good. All right, 3rd time. This is it. Ugh. Let's go. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn on the heat. Now we don't want it to boil. Enjoy my messy house in the background, by the way. We don't want it to boil, just tea temperature. Alternatively, yes, you can use a tea kettle and warm it and make the tea in there, blah, blah, blah. This is just easier for the amount of water that you'll need. So for 3 quarts of water, which is 12 cups, I will use 8 tea bags of the black tea, okay? So you just put 8 bad boys in here, and you'll want to set the timer for 10 minutes, all right? You don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to underdo it too. Okay, so we'll do that here. All right, let's see where this water's at, shall we? Okay, we can put it in. Remember, we don't want it to boil. So collect the tea bags here. We got 8 of them. Just put it in here. So I said 10 minutes. You can do anywhere from 4 to 10 minutes. Some people do 4. Some people do 10. Just don't let it sit there for like 20 minutes. Multitasking. All right, we're gonna take these bad boys out. Do not squeeze them. Can you just wait? Try case. All right, now we're gonna add the sugar. 3/4 cup. Mix that in. And now we do the best thing that we love doing. Waiting. Just be. We wait. So we're gonna cool this down. We do not want to put the SCOBY into the hot tea because hello, duh, it's gonna kill the things. So it has to be room temperature. Of course, you can do an ice bath and take little shortcuts, or you can just be a normal person and just set it aside and go about your day and clean the messy house that your kids destroyed while you wait for the tea to cool. So let's do that, and I'll come back when this tea has cooled. Okay, party people, we are back and the tea is cooled, okay? So it's right around 80, that's fine. Anything above or anything below 80 I think is fine. 60 to 80 is ready to go. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour this tea into the vessel that we're gonna use to brew the kombucha. So again, make sure that it is a glass jar here. Just pour that in. All right, and then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the SCOBY and the 1 to 2 cups of leftover kombucha from either your last brew, or you can buy original kombucha at the store, into here. So very carefully, don't just drop it, kind of lay it out. So first I'll just pour the liquid in. Don't do that. So just gently put it on top here. Make sure your hands are clean. Just lay it on here. Let it just settle in, and then pour the remaining of the juice in. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, we got the tea in, we got the SCOBY in, we got the extra kombucha in. You're gonna cover it with cheesecloth. I use cheesecloth here. We wanna give it some room to breathe, but we don't want to leave it open because gnats will be all up on this, and it will be a like a gnat party in your house. So just cover it so no bugs get in here. Now you want to put this in a place that is a warmer environment. It will ferment quicker. So I like to put this in my pantry. I'll show you where I'm gonna put it. But if you have a fermentation station, that'd be great. Don't leave it in your oven or anything like that. God forbid you forget, preheat the oven. Oh Lord. You also don't want to touch it. You don't want to mess with it. You don't want to shake it or move it. You kind of want to let it be and do its thing. And then just check after maybe a week and taste it. See how you like it. If you want it more acidic, let it go longer. So I'm going to show you where I put it here. I made some room here in my pantry, which I feel like this side of my pantry is going to turn into my fermented cultured food area. So I'm going to put it right up here along with the other kombucha that is doing the second ferment, and that is uninterrupted. It's its own thing. But before I do that, I want to label it. So this is where, can I have this for a second? A label maker is perfect because I don't know about you, but I forget things. So I forget the dates of things. So if you just put a date of when you started fermenting it, it's easy to know how many days have gone by. So I'm going to quickly make a label for that, and we'll put that bad boy in there. So I got my label here with the date. Now I want to say, since there's 2 SCOBYs in there, I'm going to be checking this sooner than I did the first one because it's going to ferment quicker the more bacteria and SCOBY you have in there. So I'm probably going to check it after 6 days and see where we're at. Last time it was around like 11 days. Okay. So here we are, we're ready to go. I'm just gonna put this here. And it's just gonna stay snug as a bug in a rug. And that is how you make a kombucha, my friends. Okay, so the kombucha is done with the first ferment. It's been probably 11 days now. So we're gonna go ahead and do the second ferment, which is transferring it into bottles and then adding flavor. Now at this point, if you just want traditional original kombucha, you could just pour this into containers, put in the fridge, and you're good to go. However, if you want it to be carbonated and fizzy and kind of like the kombucha that you buy at the store, you'll want to do a second ferment. All right, so I'll show you here. I have 2 scobies now, the one that I put in and then the second one that formed. So with clean hands, what you'll want to do is you'll want to pull them out, transfer it to a clean container, preferably glass, and then add some of the original kombucha with it, okay? So about 2 cups. So I'll just take this out. This is really, I have a cut on my finger, so that burned, all right? Look at that, that's so weird. It's like a big glob of, reminds me of what a 8-year-old breast plant would look like. La, 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 la. All right, and then I'm gonna just pour about 2 cups of this into that. SCOBY Hotel, I think is the actual term. Try not to spill it everywhere like I just did. Also, that's what you'll use as the starter when you make a new batch. So you always want to leave some of the liquid. Okay. So now, the best way to be to pour this into a pitcher so it's easier to pour. Otherwise, you're just going to be spilling it everywhere. So if you could tell, it's already fizzy. So it's already got carbonation in it, which is pretty awesome. I'm gonna just taste it and see where it's at. Oh wow, it's amazing. It's already got that fizz and that carbonation that I absolutely love, but definitely can use more punch. So it depends on how you like it. If you like it more on the flatter side, less vinegary, less fizzy, you can stop here, bottle it, and just drink it. I am going to second ferment it for about 3 days because I want to add in flavor. So the flavors that I'm going to be playing around with this time is going to be fresh blueberries, and then I sliced up some fresh ginger and fresh lemon, okay? When it comes to doing fruits, you could either do fresh fruits, you can do fruit purees, fruit concentrate. I would be careful if you're following a low carb, sugar-free, ketogenic diet. I would just use fresh fruit, preferably berries and you know, spices, lemon, lime, stuff like that. And I would avoid purchasing anything with any added sugar. But we do want to add some type of sweetened fruit into it to give the yeast something to eat. If it doesn't have anything to eat, it's not going to continue the fermentation and get really carbonated and fizzy, okay? So the sugar is going to come from the blueberries. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill up each of these containers with some berries, some ginger, and some lemon. Now, the quantities don't have to be exact. I'm just going to portion it out. It's all about experimenting and just winging it and figuring it out as you go. That's the name of the game when it comes to kombucha or anything you're making at home from scratch. So let's go. Okay, so I filled up the bottom of these containers with blueberries, fresh ginger, and some lemon. And now I'm just going to take a funnel and fill it up with the kombucha. So put it in here so it doesn't spill. Again, you want to fill it, the smaller one works better, almost to the top, but leave a little headspace because this is going to get really super carbonated and you don't want it to explode. So we're going to fill that up and leave some space. I'd say there's about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of actual fruit in there along with the ginger. the fruits in there. We're gonna seal these up and leave them out for another 3 days. Now what I'm going to do, since it's already fizzing, I'm gonna, once a day, burp them. So some people say you should burp them, some people say you don't have to. I don't want it to explode everywhere. Really don't feel like my white kitchen getting all brown. So I'm gonna take them out and burp them once a day. And that's just when you open the cap up and let the air out so it doesn't explode. So we're gonna let these sit for 3 days and we're gonna come back and do a taste test and see if they're really carbonated, how vinegary it is, or if we need to hold them better. So that much made about 2 of these big boys, and I get these containers at IKEA. I don't know the exact size of this. And I filled up this little guy, all right? So that is all for phase 2, second fermentation, and I will be back in a few days to taste test it. All right, so I rinsed out the bottles, I cleaned out the fruit, took a little bit, but that's okay. Oh, I got my helper because now we have kombucha flavored blueberries that hopefully she'll eat. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer it back to this bottle so we can close it tightly and put it in the fridge, okay? So there might be some spillage here, but I'm gonna do the best I can to pour this in. Okay. Okay, that's good enough. We're gonna close that up. We're gonna pour the rest in the other one, and then we'll be ready to try them out. I'm gonna close it for now. Awesome. Can you say awesome? Awesome. Awesome. Pour and do the taste test. Okay, so it's time for the taste test. I got my cup. I added some blueberries in here just for fun. Let's see how this tastes. Smells good. Oh man, that's so good. Holy moly. It's very subtle blueberry ginger. It's not like overwhelming. I can feel the fizz and the carbonation in the back of my throat, which I love. Honestly, I could have second fermented this longer, but it's amazing. Guys, you need to make this. Blueberry ginger kombucha. I will leave the whole recipe, the link to the recipe in the description with the step-by-step, but this is unreal. Like, I cannot believe I've waited this long to make kombucha. This would be really good on ice with some vodka too, just saying. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. I will be doing more flavored kombucha videos to kind of give you guys more options, especially if you're doing low sugar, low carb. Remember, the sugar gets eaten by the yeast, so there's no sugar in it depending on what you add, all right? So if you're doing low carb fruits, you're gonna be okay with your blood sugar, okay? So go ahead and give that a try. Let me know how it goes. Thanks for watching.